Alright, hold on, give me... I'm gonna switch games. I'm not sure. Sorry, I forgot I was still on stream while I was doing this. Mario Galaxy, I'm not sure. There's two options on the Twitch. There's one for the original game, the 2007 release, and there's a separate category for the Switch release. And people do use that separate Switch category, so I'm not sure if I have to use that one, because I am playing it on the Switch, but it's less popular, so I'm not really sure what to do there. For a while, I kept, like, just leaving loose cartridges of the games that I was, like, frequenting between, because usually I only play, like, 2 different games at the same time, but, lately it's got to the point where, like, I'm cycling between enough games at once that I should probably start putting them away when I'm done, so I don't end up with this pile of cartridges and lose something. Alright, yeah. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. I paid $70 for this thing like a chump. Remember, I bought this on a road trip, and Mario Galaxy is not a good road trip game because of the motion controls, but, still, I wanted to play in the car, but even though, like, the game is fully on the disc, I couldn't play it without connecting to the internet to download the patch, so, people talk about, like, physical gaming and stuff. It's kind of already dead. I mean, yeah, the game's in the cartridge, but if you have to connect to the internet to download a patch to play it, is there much of a point at that point? Like, I feel like you've kind of already lost the plot a little. No, it wasn't just like some like recommended update or saying like the Switch, like, I tried it would not let me play this game until I connected to the internet and downloaded like a patch or whatever, so yeah, even physical games now you can't just like play them out of the box, you're not really preserving anything. They're as useful or useless as a digital release, And backing that stuff up to preserve it is the exact same, or almost the exact same between digital and physical releases, so I don't think, for game preservation, I don't think physical releases are really, they're not really valuable anymore. That part of it is kind of gone. I mean, for older games, yeah, like, for the Wii game, if you have the Wii game, you can play it without internet, There's no funny business, but yeah, games like, oh, what the fuck? Hold on. Let me turn my... No, if you have 2 Switch controllers connected and you turn off the first one, the second one still says player 2. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it doesn't just move over. I turn that... Oh, it's connected to USB, right, because I'm charging it. Well, how charged is it now? I mean, it played for... I mean, fully charged. I mean, I think these things charge a lot faster than the old ones did, just because, that technology has improved, at least on a consumer level, I think, batteries and stuff. Even though the Switch 2, ironically, has a kind of bad battery life compared to the first one. If the Switch 2 ends up getting a newer version of the console has a better battery life like the Switch 1 did, I'm gonna be really pissed off, because, I wanted to buy this thing when it came out, but, you're kind of punished for doing so in a way, because if you wait, to spend your money, you'll get a better version of the console with higher battery life, which on the Switch 2 would make a big difference, because it doesn't last that long in handheld mode. And let me turn up the volume here. I really wish OBS natively had something better to let you precisely control the audio. The way you just have to, like, kind of slowly drag your cursor to get to the spot you want is kind of annoying. That's the wrong save. It's the one I did on my own. Although I played these kind of close to each other, so, kind of weird that I do this now. But, you know, I just want to stream this game. I hadn't streamed it before. So even though I played it recently, I still wanted to go through it again just for that. To, you know, share the experience this time.
Here's a letter from Princess Peach. It's addressed to
Mario.
Can't be upset, Luigi.
Even when she's kidnapped, the princess is so thoughtful. I feel like I finished the fountain the last time I played. I think it's been a couple of weeks since I last played this. One thing I'm wondering right now is, you know, since I'm uploading, like, all my streaming segments to YouTube, you know, on, like, my second channel, just, like, as unedited VODs. For that channel, I'm wondering, if in a few years I want to stream this again, what do I call those new videos? Like, you know, right now I have, like, part 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Do I just continue adding to the parts? Like, if I start this game over, will it just be, like, part 20 or something? Or do I, like, find some new naming scheme for it or something? Or maybe it's just, like, a more unique title than just the parts, but I don't know. I'm a very bad overthinker, and I make that a lot worse for myself by trying to maintain 2 YouTube channels and a Twitch channel at the same time by myself. You know, I start thinking too hard about, like, naming conventions and stuff, like, you know, what makes the most sense, you know, what looks weird and good or whatever. Right, I'm not done this area. Let's do the actual start Buoy of Waste this time. I think I always say Buoy weird. Well, I said it right that time, but usually I don't. The floating fortress. So I don't know how long I'm gonna play this tonight. I mean, I don't usually play this game for, like, a long time at once anyways, but it's 11:47 p.m. I mean, I'm not going to bed early, but I don't want to go to bed, like, super late. There's some stuff I would want to get done after I'm done streaming, not just go straight to bed. I always have a hard time, if I do a late stream, I never want to go to bed right when I'm done. It doesn't feel right. It's really hard to go from doing streaming stuff to just being like, okay, I'm ready to sleep now after all that. Like, you know, I need, like, a little bit of a cooldown before I get to bed. Oh, no, that's the green star again. Yeah. I feel like this level intentionally makes the green star more obvious than the actual main objective here. So you can be introduced to the green stars that way. Even though there's only, like, 2 of them, it's not... Well, I mean, there's 3 of them total, green stars, so it's not a huge part of the game, but... Of course, if you're trying to get every star, it is obviously essential. There's some stuff this game kind of hands you like that, but there is some other stars that you do kind of have to just figure out on your own if you want to get all the stars. I think Galaxy 2 had harder hidden stars, like... I remember as a kid, Galaxy 2 took me a lot longer to beat. Fuck, I'm gonna die, holy shit. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh, that was close. No, Galaxy 2 took me a lot longer to beat because there's a higher star requirement to beat the game. So you have to look for more of the hidden stars than you do in Galaxy. So there is a little more, like, you know, searching and figuring out stuff for yourself you have to do. Whereas in Galaxy 1, you can kind of just follow, like, the linear missions that are pretty straightforward and beat the game that way. Galaxy 2 definitely felt more rewarding to beat when I was a kid, though, for those same reasons. Like, Galaxy 1, was never really much challenge, but Galaxy 2, finally finding enough of the stars that I felt like I was or at least beating enough stars that I felt like I was like capable of beating at the time, you know? Like once I finally got enough stars to play the last level, it felt really rewarding. I'm not talking about 100% the game. I just mean like just like when I was a little kid, like just beating the like doing the last Bowser fight. Getting to that point as like a little kid took a lot of work and it felt really rewarding once I pulled it off. Fuck. Oh! Oh, I'm missing the blue thingies. I'm an idiot. It's right there! I'm a Chungus for that. Like, goofy, odd Chungus. Yeah, you can get all the blue pieces without pushing the button, except for that one that's stuck behind right there, so... Otherwise, I would challenge myself to get them all without the platforms moving, but I think that last one that I just got is impossible to get without pushing the button. Or lever, whatever it was, I already forgot. Can I do anything here? Like ground pound? Or... No, that just is what it is. Ooh. Oh, wait, hold on. This has the wrong title. This isn't Super Mario Galaxy. It's Super Luigi Galaxy. I really like that the continue is positioned in a spot, so when you reset the cursor, it's right there. Like, it's right in the middle. Or close enough to the middle that that's where you land. That's kind of nice. I mean, you don't even have to use... In this version of the game, you can just use, like, the D-pad or joystick or whatever to move around. In the original Wii version, the All-Stars version, you couldn't do that. In Galaxy 2, you could control the menus with the, you know, buttons. But the All-Stars version of the Galaxy 1 game didn't implement those same quality of life, you know, changes that Galaxy 2 did with its initial release. It was just a very bare-bones port of... Well, not even fully a port, but it was... very bare-bones re-release of Mario Galaxy, whereas this version actually has, you know, some of the quality of life stuff that Galaxy 2 had introduced when it came out. I mean, it's not surprising, you know, when the Wii came out, they're really trying to sell you on, like, the motion controls and stuff, so it's like, oh, you have to point in all the buttons. But here, it's like, no, you can just... Or, I mean, once Galaxy 2 came out, it's like, no, you can just, you know, just use the buttons to get around if you want. Damn, it's been over 2 hours, no drop frames. The internet is not usually so kind to me. Or that kind of me, I mean. This part's funny. When I first was, I think when I first was playing Super Luigi Galaxy, because I 100% in Galaxy 2, like some amount of years ago, but Galaxy 1, I never got all the stars until last year. So, I wondered what was going to happen in this stage where you meet Luigi. I thought maybe they would replace him with Mario or something, but no, it's just Luigi again. Rosalina even refers to him as your twin instead of your brother. I can't tell if that's, like, the lazy route or, like, the intentionally funny route for this, or both. Because there's... Is there any reason they couldn't have put... Oh, well, I guess you can't put Mario there because, you know... Luigi... When you're playing as Mario, Luigi has dialogue in this game, but Mario is not supposed to have dialogue, like, ever, so I guess you couldn't replace... Luigi with Mario here, unless they wanted to do that in a way where, he could not have dialogue, but I guess that'd be awkward. Now that I'm, like, running through this in my head, I'm starting to see why they put a clone of Luigi here instead of Mario. But it would have been cool if Mario was there, because in Luigi's Mansion, which is the level's based off of, you know, you are rescuing Mario as Luigi, so for that reason, it would have been cool if Mario was here, but I get why they didn't do it. But keep in mind, everything I'm talking about right now is... That's just me taking, like, the Super Luigi Galaxy thing as face value. You know, if I'm just, like, giving my actual thoughts on this, it's kind of dumb that this even exists. But, like, oh, if you want to get every star, you have to play the whole game again as Luigi. You know, I mean, just the fact that even makes you do that at all is pretty silly. I think Galaxy 2 had the better approach with this. I mean, Galaxy 2, the post-game progression is quite different in a lot of ways, but even that aside, it's nice that, you know, once you beat the game, you can just play as Luigi whenever you want. You don't have to, like, you know, it's like, oh, you're either on your Mario save or your Luigi save. It's just, oh, once you beat Bowser, you can just swap between them in the hub if you want. And most people do, because Luigi's higher jump is really good for the green stars. Some of the green stars, I feel like, you know, Luigi's extra jump came in clutch so much that I wouldn't even even know how to do them with Mario if I was playing as him instead. He's saying Mario. Oh, come on. That's lazy now. Come on, they really couldn't have got like a Luigi voice clip. Or maybe he's gonna be like, oh wait, I thought it was you, Mario, but it's actually Luigi when I get there. But that's weird. Actually, I mean, I hate calling anything in this game lazy, because I mean it's such a well-made game that it's kind of crappy for just some like nobody like me to be like, oh, this is lazy. But you know, every once in a while there's something, you know, I mean, even like great games, there's a handful of things where you're like, you know, you're not trying to be mean to the game, but it's more like, yeah, there's a few areas here that could be improved, even though I still really like it overall. Guess there's enough people in the universe for one person to look like me. I wonder, is there some kind of like explanation for this as why there's two Luigis? Like, I mean, obviously this part was not thought through very much, you know, it's just like, oh, this, you know, if you're doing all the missions again, have to put something here. Is this like, you know, Mario is supposed to exist in is this like, you know, Luigi came from another universe and replaced Mario, so now you just have two Luigis instead of Luigi and Mario?
Look.
Yeah, I can see your twin from here. The garage. I mean, my throat kind of hurts from talking, like, not in like a like sore, scratchy way, but it just like, it does not feel nice. It feels like if you, I don't know, like, swallow something too fast or something, your throat kind of hurts from it. I think the past few days, or more than that, I've just been kind of quiet. Like, I haven't really needed to talk much, so there hasn't been a lot of windows for me to, like, yap a ton for a while at this point. So now that I am yapping a lot, I'm yapping a lot during this stream, a lot more than I usually do. I think I just kind of am getting back in the swing of things. It's feeling more natural to talk. Like, mentally, it's feeling more natural, but my throat, I'm definitely feeling with my throat right now that I'm not used to talking this much. It kind of hurts. That happened when I was streaming Mario 3D World. Like, towards the end, you know, I had, like, no chatters for that entire series, but for like, one of the last streams, someone did show up and was talking to me a lot, so because of that chatter showing up, I was talking a lot more than they usually do, and that ended up hurting my throat then, too, so I need to talk more to get used to this. And it doesn't hurt in the way that would if I was, like, screaming or something. Like, that's a very different kind of pain than what I'm feeling right now. Let's just get this one out of the way, because I always forget about it. That's one... That game doesn't really give you much direction on that one. You just kind of have to, like, figure that star out on your own. Oh, that's a nice area. No, I have my lights turned off right now because I thought maybe it would help with, like, cooling the room. Because, I mean, even though I don't think the light is producing much heat, but sometimes it just feels like it is, and just, you know, it's a bad feeling when my room's already hot enough, but I don't usually like having my lights shut off if I'm using, you know, my computer or Switch or whatever, but this is probably a good game to have the lights off, you know, if anything, because, you know, there's like an atmosphere here that kind of works with it. Whereas, like, if I'm watching, like, some, like, comedy shit on YouTube or something, you know, it feels weird to, like, have my lights off like I'm in a movie theater or something. Like, it feels stupid. It also strains your eyes more, you know. If you have a bright screen in a dark room, that strains your eyes a lot more than just a bright screen in a bright room, you know. The dark room also makes you tired, too, you know. You were oh, fucking Christ. I was talking too much. It fell. But no, I mean, just being in the dark, it can make a lot of people, including myself. Well, I think it's supposed to be this case for everyone, but I mean, darkness makes you tired. So, you know, if you're doing stuff, you know, at night like I am right now, and you turn off your lights, you know, just the room being darker is kind of like telling you, like, hey, it's time to go to sleep, even though it's not really. I feel like the lives in this game are such a joke. Like, I think you have to really suck to get a game over, or just be like screwing around a ton. I mean, you know, I wondered, like, why does Super Luigi Galaxy, the male toad, why does the male toad give you 20 lives instead of giving you 5 like Mario gets? I was thinking, and then I was thinking, like, oh, maybe that's just so you can, like, screw around more and try, like, you know, tricks and stuff, since it's your second playthrough of the game and you're not just playing it straight. Like, you know, maybe it gives you more lives just so you have more room to mess around. Wow! A coin, how cool. I love coins and money and stealing money from people and using my money for evil. The game was like, oh, do you want to get the 1-up or the coins? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get both of them. Fuck you. I almost fell through there. It's a power star. See, I'm gonna get all the coins and still get the power star. I'm just awesome like that. I feel like for most games when I'm streaming, doing like 2 hours per game, like, feels like the right amount. Unless, like, one game captivates me, like, in an unusual way that I want to play it longer than that, but, you know. If I want to stream for, like, 4 hours or something, it's probably better to fit 2 games in there than to just do the 1 game for 4 hours. Unless, again, like, I'm really, really into it. I mean, I am into these games, but I think most of the games I play on here, I enjoy more in, like, relatively smaller bursts than I do playing, like, a ton at once. Like, I don't ever sit down and play the same game for, like, 5 hours. I just, I get tired of it after, like, 2 or 3. Plus, a game like Mario Galaxy, it's like, it's not a really long game. I mean, it's a good amount of time you put into it if you're 100%ing it, but even then, it's not a lot of time. Like, you know, like a classic JRPG is longer than 100%ing this game, you know? So I don't think there's really any need to play Mario Galaxy for hours at a time, you know? You may as well space it out more since, you know, it's not gonna last forever anyways. So I don't think I need, you know, I definitely wouldn't plan on turning all of my streams into edited highlights on YouTube. That's kind of unreasonable. No one does that. They only choose, like, their best stuff. But most of my recordings I have, like, on my computer, most of those recordings are stuff that I do want to turn into highlights. Like, most of what I've streamed, lately is Mario Galaxy and Tomodachi Life, and I want to edit all those streams into, you know, highlights on YouTube. So it's gonna take, if I just started doing all that, it would take me like it would take me a while to, why am I doing this again? What the fuck am I doing? God, I'm on autopilot like crazy right now. What the hell am I doing? That was so dumb. I mean, I don't really want to record more, like, Tomodachi Life footage or whatever, because I already have, like, 10 other Tomodachi Life videos I still have to edit. Now, some of the stuff I stream is, like, a one-off thing, like, oh, you know, if I do, like, one stream of Starbucks or something, I can just edit that whenever, but if I'm, you know, if I want to make a new Tomodachi Life video or something, it doesn't make sense to record new footage until I've, doesn't make sense to record new footage until I've, you know, actually finished editing most of the old footage. So, I mean, same goes with this game, you know, I, have a lot of Mario Galaxy recordings to edit too, but not as many as Tomodachi Life, I think. So, Tomodachi Life, I'm probably not gonna stream until I finish editing all my, you know, all my VODs into, like, the actual highlights where I take out, you know, like, the dull stuff. With my edits, I'm not trying to, like, just get, like, the very best moments. I'm more trying to just, like, you know, some streamers will turn, like, hours of footage in, like, 10 minutes, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to edit out, like, you know, the dull stuff, you know. It's less that I'm trying to get the best stuff from my edits, more that I'm just taking out the worst stuff, you know. Like, I want to show as much as I can without it being boring. That's the goal of my edits. Not just to get the very best moments, but to just try to show as much, like, good stuff as possible. It's kind of interesting in Super Luigi Galaxy that the, like, the Cosmic Clone levels are actually harder than the Mario versions. I wish this, you know, that just makes me wish, like, I feel like Super Luigi Galaxy, it shouldn't have been, like, a hard mode for Mario Galaxy, you know? Like, I feel like they should have found ways just to make all those stars harder than they are in the base game. I mean, sure, that would have taken a lot of extra time compared to, you know, just the same game again, but, you know, if they had time for that, I think that would have gone a long ways. It would have made this feel a lot more rewarding if you were doing, like, a harder variance of these levels. Because, again, like, a few of them are harder, but it's only, like, 2 or 3 stars out of 120 that are any different. Aside from just, like, you know, having slightly different physics as Luigi, that's really the difference. But it's often to your advantage anyway, so it's, like, it doesn't make it harder. I think for YouTube edits, I'm gonna prioritize my more recent recordings. Like, I have a separate folder of, like, older stuff that's I've kind of just, like, procrastinated. Then I have a folder of, like, stuff I've done recently. I think I'm gonna try to do the recent ones first before I edit the old ones, just so I don't have this stuff stack up again, you know? You know, ideally, if I stream and record something, I want to edit it later, you know? I just do that within a few days, so I can just get off my computer instead of, you know, letting it stack up and, you know, end up being, like, hundreds of gigabytes of stuff that I have to, like, trim down later on. Because it adds up really fast, so I want to stay on top of it going forward. So I'll be, like, you know, doing, like, Splatoon Raiders videos and stuff more, just because it's more recent, and, you know, the older stuff I've recorded, I'm just gonna do that when I have spare time. You know, that stuff's just kind of, retired for now. Like the Tomodachi Life videos. Because they stacked up too much, and, you know, focusing on them too much now would just prevent me from doing other newer stuff. Alright, I gotta get this hoe. I have a Red Bull in the fridge. I considered drinking it, like, during the stream. Just because I was like, you know, I mean, I would like the extra energy, you know, streaming right now. But it's also like, you know, I might want the energy right now, but I also am streaming this at night, so, you know, I mean, if caffeine lasts like 3 hours, you know, that'd be fine, but it doesn't. It lasts, you know, it has effects a lot longer than a few hours, so, you know, I feel like I'd probably end up regretting that once I was going to sleep, because it would last longer than I wanted it to. Even if you can, like, fall asleep after drinking something with caffeine, as far as I'm aware, like, for most people, if not everyone, you know, even if you fall asleep with a lot of caffeine in your system, it's just gonna make your sleep quality worse. Or it might just have you, like, wake up and toss and turn in the middle of the night, like, more than you would otherwise. So, yeah, even if you're able to fall asleep after drinking one of those drinks, it's, you know, just best to avoid drinking those late. Or really at all, frankly, but you don't want to drink those late because they can disrupt your sleep a lot. Because again, if you want to, you know, if you want to be, like, more awake for a few hours, you know, it's fine for those few hours, like, you know, it does its job then, but then once you want to go to sleep after those few hours, it's like, oh, well, I still have caffeine in my system, so, you know, you have to take it, like, long enough before bed that it, you know, it wears off before you go to sleep. So, God, I don't think I've ever sucked this area this much. I'm just kind of... Yeah, when I'm talking about random stuff, just my gameplay abilities just decrease dramatically. God.
Oh, goddamn.
Alright, that is the last time I die on this planet. I'm not letting it happen again. Are you kidding me? Okay. Alright, I recovered. I would have been so mad if I died right after saying I was done dying. God, fuck you, man. What's up? These guys don't always feel this hard. Am I more tired right now than I realize? Sometimes you are more tired than you realize. Like, you feel fine, but... Oh my god! You know, sometimes you feel fine, but, you know, once you start, like, trying to do stuff you normally do, you realize, like, wait a minute, I'm, like, screwing this up a lot more than I usually do. And you're like, oh, maybe I'm more tired than I thought. Because sometimes I'll only sleep for, like, 4 hours, and I'll get to work and be like, well, I feel fine. But then once I start doing stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm sucking at this right now. What the hell? Oh, they're all dead. Oh my god. I kept lowering Luigi into the spider. Like, I kept forgetting the spider would still affect him. Because, yeah, sometimes I'll be feeling fine when I go to work on, like, a small amount of sleep. I won't feel tired, but then, you know, I start doing something, I'm doing it worse than usual, or I'll be talking to customers, and I'll stutter more than I usually do, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. And there's not really anything to, blame that on, other than probably just, you know, that I got less sleep than I usually do. Oh, fuck off. Luigi's swinging him around like a lasso. Looked kind of funny. I don't think I really ever noticed that about those guys. Actually, that might have been risky, shooting there. Let's see, can I recover from that? Yeah, never mind, I'm fine. I'm being kind of sloppy here, but I'm not too worried about it. Oh my god. I'm not too worried about dying here. Yeah, okay. I kind of brute forced that. I figured I'd make it through the hole at some point. This planet feels kind of strange. Like, okay, I guess this is here. I feel like it doesn't do much. You get one up, I guess. Well, yeah, bouncy bounce.
Actua! Actua! Actua!
Oh, I'm in this spot. I was starting. I thought I was on the second star. I guess I just did that. Something with this boss that's hard. In Mario Galaxy 2, there's the boss Blitz Galaxy that's in the special world. It's one of the last levels in the game, you know, for the post-game content. And, you know, the normal level isn't that hard, but there's a prankster comet for it, and you would think that it would give you a Daredevil run, like, oh, you can't get hit on all the bosses, but it's a speed run instead. You have to defeat all the bosses in a certain amount of time, and it's actually pretty challenging. Like, once you get to the last few bosses, like, I think this guy's the second to last boss in that galaxy, and you're really stressing, like, oh my god, how am I gonna, like, finish these last two bosses before the timer? It feels like it's a more interesting choice than if they had just been like, okay, just here's all the bosses again, but don't get hit, you know? There's more strategy with, like, oh, okay, how do I defeat them quick enough? I mean, this game has some speedrun comments in it, but most of them, the timers are so generous, it doesn't really change how you play the level. The only thing that really changes is the fact that if you die, there's no checkpoint. But there's some speedruns in Galaxy 2 that are a lot more creative. Galaxy 1 has, like, a more consistent space thing going on. And, you know, there's, like, better story elements and stuff, but I think pretty much everything else is better in Galaxy 2. Like, just when you're just playing the levels, you know, how the levels feel, how fun they are, and stuff like that. I just think it's better in Galaxy 2 than it is here. I mean, this game is great too, but I think Galaxy 2, just made it, like, as good as you possibly could, for the most part. I mean, there's a couple, like, duds in Galaxy 2, but for the most part, it's all really great stuff. I mean, people talk about the atmosphere in this game being stronger, but I think there's a more consistent atmosphere in this game, but I think, like, per level, the atmospheres for the galaxies in Galaxy 2 are still really strong. They're more diverse, but I think what each level tries to do, it's really good at. Like, you know, you get all these different things that kind of come out of nowhere, but, like, I don't know, I think Cosmic Caves, you know, is a galaxy. It's as good as anything in this game is, you know. Like, that, when I'm thinking of, like, you know, like, childhood memories and stuff with these two games, you know, like, Cosmic Caves sticks out more than anything does here. You know. That game makes me think about being, like, you know, like, 8 years old or something, and it's, like, a weekend, and I get to stay up an extra hour, so I'm in, like, you know, the game room, I'm playing Mario Galaxy on the couch, and I sleep on the couch instead of my bed, because that felt, like, special as a kid. You know, to sleep somewhere else. Yeah, I remember, like, you know, as a kid, like, that was a, you know, big thing, like, you know, on the weekend, you know, stay up an extra hour playing, like, Mario Galaxy or something. It was, Galaxy 2 was, like, the main go-to, and then after that, I would open Netflix on the Wii, you know, where I just played Galaxy 2. I'd open Netflix on the Wii, and then find a movie, and then go to sleep on the couch. When I think of, like, that and stuff like that, you know, I think of Galaxy 2 before I think of Galaxy 1. Just because I think, you know, even though the atmosphere in this game is more consistent, I think Galaxy 2, like, per level, you know, adds some, you know, like, atmospheres and levels and stuff that really immersed you and pulled you in, like, you know, Cosmic Caves that I just mentioned. And finally, it's, my room has finally dropped below 80 degrees. It's been hours I've been waiting for that to happen. I might be able to sleep tonight. If it's hot, if it's, like, or even it's not that hot, but if it's, like, kind of warm in my room, I'll have trouble sleeping. Like, I don't like it super cool when I'm awake, but when I'm sleeping, I like it way colder than I do when I'm awake. Like, when I lived, you know, somewhere that had, like, air conditioning and a thermostat and stuff like that, and I wasn't just relying on the house's insulation, you know, I would always have the thermostat higher in the daytime, and then I'd turn it, like, way down when I'm going to sleep, because, you know, You know, in the day, I'd feel like chilly if I was doing something at my desk, but at night, you know, the cool air, it just helps me sleep. I don't think humans were meant to live in deserts, but at the same time, the deserts, in some ways, kind of have better infrastructure, you know, for like climate change and stuff than the rest of the world does. Like quite a lot of Europeans right now are complaining about heat because they don't have air conditioning. Whereas, you know, if you live like you know, in the American Southwest where it gets really hot, you're going to have air conditioning. It's just kind of mandatory. So the indoor experience is just kind of better because, you know, it was built for extreme scenarios that a lot of places in Europe weren't, you know. Most places in Europe were built for like kind of mild or cool climates. So now that it's getting warmer over there, they're not really ready for it. Because, you know, nothing was really built in mind with, you know, thinking that things were going to get so much warmer in the future, you know. I mean, climate change and global warming are, you know, it's not just saying it's going to happen. It's been happening. It's happening now. I mean, it's here, you know. It affects people now. So yeah, it's like, you know, the whole world's getting kind of warmer. I mean, being outside in a desert area sucks, but all the buildings inside have air conditioning. It's super cool and comfortable. So some of the less warm places are getting kind of hot inside now, while the places that have always been hot just, you kind of know how to deal with this already. Or were built to deal with this. Alright, looks like I cleared the kitchen for now. I mean, the area I lived in, I kind of wanted to stay there forever, but there were a lot of circumstances, you know, for why I had to move away. I mean, I was able to deal with the outdoor heat just because I think everything inside and, you know, the city and stuff, it was all nice enough that I was willing to deal with it being that hot when I was outside because it was cool inside, you know, I was fine with it. But there was a lot of reasons I had to move away somewhere else. I am going to be moving again soon. But even though I like the area and I miss it, I think maybe it's not so bad that I had to get out of there because, you know, I mean, like I was saying, I don't think humans are meant to live in deserts, you know. There's not a lot of, like, resources around you, you know. Like, at some point, some of those places are gonna run out of, like, drinking water, you know. And, you know, if like you have, like, a whole region in the US that, like, runs out of its, like, you know, water reserves or whatever, there's nothing you can do at that point to get water all to the massive amount of people that are living in those areas, you know. Or at least, you know, or, I mean, you can, there's stuff, you know, you can do if you start doing it now, but, you know, if a place, you know, if a region of the US just ran out of water, like, tomorrow, like, there'd be nothing you could do for the people there at that point, you know. There'd be just people be rushing to get out, and, you know, you would not want to be the last person out. You know, when things are falling apart where you live, you know, you want to pick up on the warning signs and, you know, get out relatively soon. You never want to be the last person out, you know, when disaster hits. Because then, you know, all the places people immigrate to, you know, they could be less accepting of, you know, the people coming in late than people coming in early.
Actua!
So yeah, you know, if you're in an area where it seems like, you know, you might run out of drinking water at some point and nothing's being done about it until it's too late, you know, you should probably do your best to move away now. Because again, if an area like that runs out of water, you can't just funnel water from somewhere else. There's no way you can do that and like continue to get water to everyone living there. You know, it's just kind of the area just becomes unlivable at that point. See, I feel like, you know, for people that have the freedom to like move around and stuff, you know, they aren't stuck in one area. Should probably think about. I feel like you should. I think you can die there. I think I've died here before, and I was like, wait, is this a troll? But I just realized I'm able to get back into the plant from the vine. But I think if you just do this... Yeah, you die. It feels like kind of a troll. But no, I was saying, you know, like, if you're moving somewhere else, you know, you should probably think about the climate of the place before you think about anything else. Like, you know, like, okay, is this place gonna be livable in the future, you know? Like... How is this place gonna fare with climate change, you know? Like, you know, some places, like, yeah, they might be fine now, but, you know, you're gonna want water in, like, 10 or whatever years. So, yeah, so, you know, even if someone has, like, a, you know, better job or something, it's like, you know... Like, yeah, having a job is nice, but having water is nicer. The job doesn't really matter much when there's no water. I mean, moving's difficult. Most people don't have the freedom to just, you know, say, oh, I hate where I'm living, I'm gonna go somewhere else and just do it, you know? I mean, it's a really difficult thing to do. But, I mean, if you are able to do it, you know, I think climate is something you should take into, like, heavy consideration as climate change, you know, continues to progress. The thing with climate change is that, I mean, people, there's a lot of people, like, I guess, like, denialists, you know, to, like, argue, like, oh, you know, it's natural or something, but, you know, even if climate change was completely natural, I think some of it is natural, but a lot of it, I think, is caused by humans, but even if it was completely natural, you should still try to do something about it instead of ignore it, you know? Just because, you know, something's natural doesn't mean it's not gonna kill you, you know? Like, you know, if an area runs out of water because of, like, natural causes, you know. But yeah, if, you know, if an area becomes unlivable due to, like, natural circumstances, you know, you can't just ignore it and it becomes, like, livable all of a sudden, you know. Whether it's caused by man or not, you know, it still affects you. I feel like that bunny was easier than usual. I mean, I've seen people do it way faster than I did, but I wasn't, like, super locked in. Luigi runs faster. Did that... Is the bunny really not faster to accommodate for that? Like, is this star just easier if you have Luigi? Oh, we still got, like, the evil boss music. Ah, alright, I guess I'll go fight Bowser. Fine, if I have to. When I played as Mario, I read the storybooks, so I'm probably not gonna do it again during the stream. I mean, I might want to read it again on my own, but I don't like reading a bunch of text out loud from a game when I'm streaming. I don't think that's, you know, I mean, some people, you know, have, like, you know, some, like, expressive voices, you know, they can, you know, make, like, voice acting and dialogue and stuff fun, but from my perspective, I don't like reading a bunch of text from a game when I'm streaming. You know, I prefer to just read that silently and just kind of, you know, get to the gameplay and talk about whatever. Because I don't, you know, again, I want to read the storybook, like, you know, like, to myself sometime, but I don't think me reading it out loud is really that interesting. That's not interesting to watch, you know. I mean, if it was my first time reading it, sure, you know, maybe I would have some more interesting reactions saying, but it's like, I've already read it, you know, I'm not... You know, me reading the Rosalina storybook out loud on stream, that's not really gonna do anything for anyone, you know? Oh my god, okay, Luigi turned all, like, pixely. I feel like there's some, like, artifacts in this game that, like, looked fine in the Wii, but when you up-res it, it looks a little weird. This level seems to be a little more difficult with Luigi than Mario, because he's slippery. Guess, you know, there's some areas that are easier with him, some stuff's harder. So, I mean, It's not completely the same as if you play with Mario, but I feel like again, so I said this earlier, but I kind of wish that the Super Luigi Galaxy theme was just like a more fleshed out hard mode. And that there were more changes beyond just having different physics. Like there were maybe more enemies or just something to make it more difficult. Because the reason I had that thought is because, you know, the Cosmic Mario stages in this version of the game are harder. You know, they take more skill to complete. So I just wish more stars were like that, you know? There's a very small handful of stars in this game that are harder when you play as Luigi, so I kind of just wish, you know, more of the other stars also had, you know, some kind of change to their difficulty. I wonder if anyone has made a, like, a ROM hacker mod for that, you know? Not like a crazy Kaizo thing, but just like, you know, just a hard mode, you know? Just like, kind of subtle changes to the game. Or maybe not subtle, but, you know, just like some tweaks to the game that just make it harder, you know? So you just have, like, an effective hard mode, essentially. Like, you know, the Star Fox 64 remake came out recently, and that has, like, an expert difficulty that I don't think the original game did. So, you know, just, no, I imagine that probably does stuff like adds more enemies and, you know, well, I guess I can't think of what else it'd be, but I mean, just adding more enemies and just stuff like that. You know, I feel like Mario Galaxy could have had something like that, you know, for the Super Luigi Galaxy thing. Oh, fuck, I did not think that through. Oh, well, I tried thinking that through, I just didn't think it through right. I mean, of course, you don't have to play Super Luigi Galaxy, you know? It's not like there's anything crazy lying at the end, you know? If you do complete it, but, you know... But I feel like the game just... It gives you these little hints at something, you know, more interesting for Luigi, but it doesn't really deliver on a lot of it. So, I mean, if you're playing this, you kind of just have to treat it as, like, a second playthrough of the game, you know? Like, you know, if you go into, like, oh, I have to do all the stars again, you know, of course you're gonna be annoyed. But if you treat it more like, oh, it's a game I liked, and I'm just playing the game again, you know, that's not so bad, because, I mean, you know, it's not a long game, you know. If you like Mario Galaxy, then, of course, you gotta replay at some point, so I guess why not do it as Luigi? Oh, fuck, I did it again! Oh my god, I'm having so many fucking stupid moments tonight. This is not my usual skill level. Oh my god, come on, man. I can't believe that worked. That was really risky. I had no idea what was like. I could not remember what was lying ahead there. Although, even if you try to treat the Luigi Galaxy thing as just a separate playthrough instead of, you know, just, like, having to do all the stars again, the downfall of that logic is that, you know, almost everything in this is the same as it is with Mario, except you don't get the opening cutscene and story of the game. And in most Mario games, it'd be like, whatever, but there's more going on here than there is in most Mario games, so, you know, if you want to do an actual new playthrough of this game, you'd want to see the intro again, which you won't see if you're playing as Luigi, so, you know, that's kind of a bummer. I feel like they should have redid those cutscenes with Luigi at the beginning. Or maybe they shouldn't have, I don't know. Again, if I go through it in my mind, there's probably reasons why they didn't do it that way. But, I mean, you get all the ending stuff with Luigi. They reanimated all that. Again, every time I try to think of how to improve Super Luigi Galaxy, I end up, you know, reaching the conclusion of, you know, like, oh, you know, maybe Super Luigi Galaxy is just inherently kind of stupid. Because every way I can think of to make it more interesting has, like, some kind of, like, glaring flaw. Which makes me think, okay, maybe they just shouldn't have done this at all, you know? Maybe you shouldn't have just got 120 stars. And then you could do the, you know, Grand Finale Galaxy or whatever. And again, I've also talked about this plenty, but I really don't like that you have to beat Bowser twice. Like, you know, this game has like an open-ended structure like Mario 64 does. In Mario 64, you can get all the stars before you face Bowser for the last time. But in this game, you have to beat him once before the purple comets unlock, and then you have to beat him again to, you know, truly like 100% it, or I guess however you'd consider that. Because you don't 100% it the first time. This is how you unlock Super Luigi Galaxy. But again, it bothers me a lot that you can't get all the stars before facing Bowser like you could in 64. Because the game is structured like 64, so it just feels really arbitrary that some of the comets are, you know, aren't available until you beat Bowser once. By beat Bowser once, I mean like play the final level once. In Galaxy 2, it makes more sense because Galaxy 2 has a very linear progression, and it has a special world after you beat the game. This game doesn't have either of those. It would have made way more sense if you could just have Bowser as your final star. Again, like you could in 64. I don't know if Sunshine's like that either. I haven't beat Sunshine. That's the only 3D Mario game I haven't beat. I haven't even played that much of it. I've only played like a few hours of it. I'd like to change that at some point, you know. I might stream that game like sometime this year, you know. I have a GameCube plugged in right now, so I guess, you know, I guess it would be good to get use of the GameCube while it's already here. Although I'm probably going to be moving, you know, houses before I end up streaming Mario Sunshine anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. My GameCube is already plugged in because all this stuff in my room's gonna have to be, you know, unplugged anyways.
Actua!
Alright, I'm almost at 3 hours of the stream, so I think this is what I'm gonna do. I'm either gonna stream till I hit like around the 4-hour mark, or stream until I have to use the bathroom. Whichever one comes first. That's what I'm gonna end the stream. Oh, this is a kind of frustrating point to be at because, yeah, I mean, as 41 stars, I'm not that far from, you know, unlocking the last level here. Not 100%ing the game, but, you know, doing the final Bowser fight. I'm not that far away from that. I wonder, like, am I gonna get 19 more stars in an hour? Or does that take a little longer? Because I don't really feel like doing all the ending stuff tonight, but now that I think about it, I'm probably not gonna unlock it in 1 hour anyways. Because I'm only planning on streaming 1 more hour, so it's whatever.
Actua! Actua!
Luigi says Hawk to, oh, shit. There's a lot of stuff to do in the bedroom still, even though I just did the boss here. That's one of the weird things about this game, is that once you get good at it, you know, it's so... If you get good, the game is so easy to get the stars that you end up coming to, like, a room, and it's all... The boss is already unlocked before you've done any of the other levels. Like, I'm pretty sure in this game, you know... I mean, this takes, like, you know, a lot of effort. Like, you definitely have to go out of your way for this, but... I'm pretty sure you can beat this game without going to the last 2 domes. I think this could be your final dome before you, beat the game if you get all the possible stars. I think challenges like that are kind of fun, you know, just trying to, like, you know, optimize it as much as you can. Once you've already played the game once, I mean, you know, if it's like your first playthrough, you're probably just gonna play whatever random stuff's thrown in front of you, but if you're going through it again, you know, you kind of want to challenge yourself a little, like that, a little more. the rings, the graphics around the blue rings, like the little like light around them, looks kind of pixely. Like it's like a low resolution like Wii texture or something that's being like rendered there instead of like a, you know, like a lighting or something. I don't know. I'm gonna kill that fucking whatever creature Major Burrows is. What, like a mole or something? Can I go under here? It would have been really funny if I just fell off when I did that. But no, I think most of the plants on this galaxy have gravity all around them. I mean, you can kind of tell from the shape. I mean, you know, when the plant's in a circle, it's obvious, but this one's kind of rounded at the edge. Like, it, you know, it'd probably be flatter if you couldn't go down to the bottom. But there are some plants in this game where they don't really look like you could go to the bottom of them, and so they put some kind of like secrets in the bottom just because you wouldn't think that you could go under them, but you actually can. Mario games have a lot of like little secrets, like not things that really, you know, affect like the main campaign or whatever, but just like, you know, a lot of like extra little spots where they hide like star bits or coins or one-ups or whatever. Just very little things that, you know, kind of congratulate you for finding like, you know, these different nooks and crannies that you don't necessarily have to go to. Oh, I haven't got the golden chomp yet. Is that in this level? No, I'm gonna ignore that for now. Because it might not be in this stage. Oh shit, I did not optimize that very well. Yeah, okay. I'm surprised. It feels kind of cheap that it even lets me do that. I felt a little dirty doing that. Like I was about to die and I was like, I'll just leave the level. Well, I guess if you have a checkpoint, you wouldn't want to do that, but if you've just started, like, yeah, you know, may as well save the life. Although waste time. So I guess I really didn't help myself there that much. I didn't really do anything good for myself there. But like in Mario 64, if you're not like, if you're not standing still on the ground, it won't let you leave the level. So you can't just like leave if you're about to die or something. Oh, come on. No, I guess I'll just do the normal mission then. Oh, well, no, I died anyways. Okay. Come on. Wait, no, fuck off. 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 Can I back out of this? Oh, okay. I didn't connect them. I'm just gonna die here, see where it puts me. Oh, I just realized there's like trees in the background. I never realized that. I just kind of thought this was in like nowhere sky, but there's like some like greenery in the background. I like that a lot now that yeah, strange that I always thought this was like an empty sky. I just noticed, yeah, there's land and stuff below. This level feels like a lot more alive now that I noticed that. I really like that. That is a nice touch. There we go, okay. Okay, I think the coins that get you the invincibility star that lets you break the golden chomp, I think that's on the first mission of this galaxy. Makes sense, it's usually where hidden stars are. They're stuff, or just stuff like that in the Galaxy games. Like, you know, there's gonna be like a big streak here. It's usually gonna be in the first mission, not like a later one. I've got this plan. It's just like kill everything.
Kill everyone.
And then you get the launch star. Yippee! I kind of wish I had open back headphones for streaming, so that I wasn't completely isolated whenever I'm streaming a game. Because I can hear my voice a little bit, but since I have headphones on, they're closed back, I can't hear anything aside from myself in the game. So if there's like something like important going on around me, or just, people talking outside my window, or just something I might want to know about, I'm not gonna hear any of that. Like, if someone's, like right now, if someone's walking by my house, because my bedroom is facing the driveway, if someone's walking by my house, they could probably hear everything I say, but I couldn't hear them. And that bothers me a lot. I mean, I'm not as worried about that at night, since I don't, people aren't exactly out and about at night, and it's not really anything dangerous here to worry about either. But yeah, I like being, like aware of my surroundings when it's possible, but wearing closed back headphones makes that kind of impossible, You're kind of just stuck in your own world when you're doing that. Although with open back headphones, it kind of blends sounds into your environment in a way where, like, something something you hear in your game, you might think it's happening in real life, because you're hearing both at the same time. So that's why I've heard, at least, that like with some open back headphones, sometimes it sounds like the stuff you're listening to in your headphones is actually around you. And if you're playing a video game, that might get confusing. If you hear like knocking or banging or something, you might be like, oh wait, was that in the game or was that around me? I mean, that happens with normal like closed back headphones too, but I think it would be even worse with the open back ones. But that's a pretty minor issue to have. I like breaking those things. I mean, it stresses me out because I often miss the middle and get hit by the rock, and it hurts. But, when you pull it off, it feels nice. Alrighty, let's go fight the penis mole. Or after I get this. What do you think that big mole guy is gonna do with that bunny after he grabs? Oh, I'm gonna get eaten. Do you think he would just eat the bunny or do something more sinister first, No, there's just the way he was mad dogging that bunny. I feel like if, Mario or Luigi didn't intervene, I feel like he would have fucked that bunny. And I would have laughed at the bunny. I'm like, haha, you, you idiot. You got fucked by the mole. Haha.
Oh shit! Oh! You're making me really mad! Now I'm really mad!
Actually, wait, did the Starbits actually slow him down? I kind of did that, like, just out of curiosity, not thinking it would work. Or just thinking it was unlikely that it would work, but maybe it slowed him down a tiny bit, I don't know.
Actua!
These, like, 1-star stages, when the, like, question block unlocks, they always excite me. And then once I unlock it, I'm like, oh, wait, I don't really actually care for this level that much. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I think it's fun, but it's not, like, one of my favorites or anything. Whereas, like, I feel like Galaxy 2 you know, like the kind of like one-off, like, you know, sort of experimental stages. I feel like those stages in Galaxy 2 were a lot stronger than they are in this game. Like, there's a galaxy in the first dome in this game. It's the, you know, the 1-star stage. Or I think there's multiple 1-star stages, but there's I forget the name of it, but there's one galaxy early on that it just feels like a tech demo. It's not that exciting. It's just like one planet with a few things to do. Like one small planet. I mean it's fun to navigate through, but I mean comparing it to like the level design of Galaxy 2, you know, there's some stuff in this game that doesn't feel as fleshed out as it did later on in that second game. And it makes sense, you know, of course, the first game, you know, is going to spend a little more time holding your hand, you know, getting you used to some kind of new mechanics and stuff. And then the second game is like, all right, you've already played this, you know, have fun. You know what to do. I mean, there's like, and it's still kind of there's like a tutorial in, you know, Galaxy 2, but it is quicker, and the game overall is a little harder, you know. It doesn't hold your hand as much. It lets you figure out more stuff on your own. Which again, I think makes sense for a sequel. I mean, a sequel to a game doesn't need to be like, you know, Mario Bros. Lost Levels, where, you know, the first level of the second game is like as hard as the last level in the first game, you know? Because it's kind of... I think that was the approach of that game, where it's like, oh, okay, you've beat Mario 1, so this is just the next step up from that, you know? But that kind of approach just ended up making that game, like, you know, too frustrating. Whereas, like, you know, Galaxy 1 to Galaxy 2, it just was like, alright, the difficulty overall is, like, a little harder. But it doesn't start off with the same difficulty that the last game ended at. It's just like, alright, it starts a little harder than the start of the first game. And, you know, the end of the game is a little harder than the end of the first game. And again, I think a large part of that is just because, you know, the Wii was doing a lot of new stuff when the first Mario Galaxy came out, but by the time the second one came out, you know, they didn't really have to worry about that as much because people already were used to the system. Hey. I mean, Dusty Dune Galaxy is, like, it's fun enough, but... Well, it is fun, but... I never want to go there when I'm presented with other levels. Like, just the vibe is not... It's never really what I'm looking for. Even though I do have, like, a lot of nostalgia for, like, you know, desert stuff. That particular desert just doesn't really... You know, like, grab me, I guess. Galaxy 2 has a desert level that captivates me a lot more with its atmosphere, but a lot of that might just be that the first mission starts at night, and maybe just that alone makes it more interesting than, you know, the one here that's always daytime, because, you know, usually desert levels are always, you know, in, like, the bright sun, so I think maybe it's just a little more interesting seeing one that is at night. Mario Odyssey also had that to its advantage with some of the stuff in its desert world, too. That, like, you know, some of the like the, you know, missions for that world, you know, are at night. Now, for most people, this would be the first place to use the Ice Flower, but I did a different star earlier on, like a hidden star that introduces you to the Ice Flower before you unlock this stage. A lot of levels I've been doing in this game, you know, I've clicked on the galaxy and I'm like, wait, holy shit, I thought I did that already. Alright, I guess this is my first time with Fire Luigi on the save. But I've been looking at a lot of galaxies today. I'm like, wait, I thought I already did that. But I'm like, oh, wait, no, I just already did it as Mario. You know, Luigi hadn't done it yet. I thought I had done a few more things with Luigi, but no, I guess I was just thinking back to Mario Galaxy, not Luigi Galaxy. Oh my god, do I seriously have to take the Fire Flower up here? That bat sucks. You can't kill him. I assume the Fire Flower can kill it. There's nothing else that can. Wait, hold on. Can I cheese this? Is it possible? Oh man. Holy shit. Now, can I get on top of that bucket and cheese it even more? No, I think it's just like I think it's just a slope up there. Oh! No, you can stand straight on that. There's no way that worked! I can't believe that worked. I don't know if that'd even be possible as Mario. Like, that might have been thanks to Luigi's extra jump. Holy shit. Wow, okay. That was way easier than using the Fire Flower in that area. I didn't think that would work. I was like, I also try it, you know. I was not sure about that one. Fine, I'll play it. Soaring under desert winds. Huh. Now, when I move, it'll be nice that, there'll be more jobs. And I can quit and I'll be quitting my current job, you know, pretty soon. Before I move, you know. I've been stuck at this job quite a while because no one else I applied to would hire me. So, I've just been kind of stuck here. But I'm glad I'm gonna have a fresh start moving to a new place with new stuff. I mean, it might take forever to get a job, too. You know, who knows? I mean, no, not a guarantee I'm gonna get a job. But there definitely are more opportunities than there are where I currently live. So, there's a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to when I move next month.
Aqua!
There's like one sound he made where it sounded like he said Octua. That's why I keep doing that. He hasn't been I haven't heard it in a while, but there's like, yeah, I forgot what it was, but there's some sound he made where it sounded like Octua.
Spinach, spinach, spinach. Spinach, spinach, spinach.
Luigi in the Pinkus Factory. Coming to a theater near you. Oh no, I wanted to like bounce off that and get on top of it. Whatever, I'll just jump past, I guess. If I have to. I guess this could be your first level with the Fire Flower if you play this before, that, like, Shiverburn Galaxy, I think that's what it's called. No, I think that's what the Galaxy 2 Hot and Cold Galaxy is called. I forgot what the one here is called. There's some galaxies like that in Galaxy 2, where it takes something that was done in Galaxy 1, but just does it in a way it's more interesting. Like, you know this? You know, like, both games have, like, hot and cold gimmick galaxy, but the way Galaxy 2 does is more interesting, you know? You start off in this, like, hot area, but then you have to, like, you know, freeze the ground and then navigate the rest of this in, like, a new, like, modified terrain. I just think the angle there, you know, the way those things are combined is more interesting than the way it's done in this game, where the two, like, hot and cold things are mostly separated. I mean, they're kind of brought together at the end, but it's still a little more... They're still kind of, like, separated, like, you know, between the different parts of the level. Or, like, the Galaxy 2, you know, mission mixes it up a bit more. So you have to, like, you know, navigate, like, this hot and cold stuff at the same time. I'm excited to, at some point, be done with this and stream Galaxy 2. Because that is probably my favorite Mario game, and I've never done a full stream of it. I've tried streaming it a couple times in the past, but I ended up abandoning those streams for, like, one reason or another, but I kind of have the hang of things down now more, so I'll be able to do, like, a full playthrough of it sometime this year. I wish there was, like, some kind of noise suppression filter or whatever where it reduces, like, fans and stuff in the background but doesn't affect anything else. Because I don't mind there being, like, keyboard clicks and stuff in my audio, you know? I think trying to filter that stuff out, it just ends up kind of sounding, like, muffled in this awkward way. You know, sometimes it sounds more awkward than if you just kept it in. But I wish you could just remove, like, constant white noise in the background, but leave in, like, clicks and stuff while you do that. Because, you know, having controller sound stuff in my audio, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is having, like, a loud fan in the background that you can hear the entire time. That's what bothers me. That's why I have noise suppression on, so they'll filter that out. Although the way my mic is positioned, you know, it can probably pick up my voice without picking up much of the fan anyways. Even if I turn noise suppression off. Mario 64 is a little more immediate with its level entrances. But in this game, it kind of makes sense, you know? This game is more like, you know, you want to stop and, like, smell the flowers, I guess. This is kind of like the vibe this game has. And Mario 64 sort of does too, but... In Mario 64, you can get into a level a lot quicker, so you kind of just run around, do whatever. It doesn't feel as sluggish, but it doesn't feel, like, bad in this game either. I don't really mind it. And you're slow as fuck, badass. Maybe, you know, take it easy in the hamburgers, and, you know, you might have had to, you know, might have been able to walk the smack talk. But yeah, you know, Mario 64, you're kind of just encouraged to, like, run around and, you know, just kind of randomly go to paintings all throughout, you know, the castle instead of, you know, just trying to do all the missions at once. I mean, there is some stuff, like, you know, where you have to go do another level before you're able to finish, or you have to go do another course, you know, do something in another course before the game lets you do certain stars in, like, earlier courses. Whereas this game, it feels like, yeah, you can kind of move around randomly like that too, but when you're switching between levels, you kind of want to do it, like, per dome, because, you know, walking to all the different domes, that can kind of take a while. Like, that can get annoying, you know. You don't really want to do a level, like, in Dome 1 and do a level in Dome 6 and then go back and forth. Going back and forth between those can be pretty annoying, you know? You're mostly just going back between different galaxies in the same dome. Whereas in Mario 64, it's a little easier to just get around the entire castle. Although the walk from the beginning to the end is still a bit, but it feels a little less, you know... It feels a little faster than Mario Galaxy does. I'm kind of surprised I'm even going for, like, you know, coins and star bits and all that stuff at this point, considering how much I've played this game already. Like, you know, I feel like most games I would just be trying to get to the end of the game as fast as possible at this point, but I guess it just says something about this game that it's fun enough that I still want to do the little stuff. Even after everything I've done already. Oh, you fucker. You fucking penis. You dickhead. Luigi, do you think your mom would be proud of that if you had one? That you just fell down like that? You were too slow? You think Mr. and Mrs. Mario would be happy with you right now? Nah, I think they would. Luigi seems like a swell fellow. Was I trying to jump across that the first time? I think I forgot you can just, like, skate across. Yeah, my brain's been kind of shut off for a lot of this stream. Probably because, you know, a lot of it's kind of repetitive at this point. Since, you know, I already did it as Mario, but... I mean, still, you know, I'm not, like, rushing through the levels or anything. I'm just kind of... I'm more, like, half-assing it than I am rushing it, if that makes sense. Although, actually, I don't think you even need the ice flower for this. I think you can get up there without it. I'm going to try. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not as Luigi. No, actually, I think you can go to the middle and do it. Yeah, I remember doing this Mario. I beat this boss without using the ice flower. How did I do that? Did I just swim and get out of the water before I took damage? Because I remember being able to do it without... I remember being able to do something here to skip the ice flower without taking any damage, but maybe I'm remembering wrong. Oh, now he's really mad. Are you gonna push me off? No? Dude, I remember this boss, like, pushing you off in, like, the second phase, so you can, like, beat the boss too quickly. But I guess you can just stay up there the whole time if you dodge the attacks. Look at this big office. I had to take a picture. It was too epic. Oh, no. Oh, no. What happened to my stream? Well, I guess no one can hear me right now. I mean, I'm recording offline, so I guess that won't matter. I lost connection for some reason. God, this keeps happening at night. Hold on, let me see if my phone works. No, the internet's just fucking out. Like, the Wi-Fi bars are there, but nothing connects at all. Like, there's nothing. It's not just slow, there's nothing. My God, oh my God, this happened the last time I was trying to do something late at night. Just the internet just stopped working. Do they just shut it off in the late hours now? Like, oh, no one's gonna use it. Let's just shut it off to save energy or whatever the fuck. By they, I mean, like, you know, the internet provider or whoever does this shit. This is really annoying. Well, I mean, Twitch isn't getting anything, so that doesn't fucking matter. I mean, yeah, I guess everything I'm saying right now is just for the VOD later. So yeah, if you want to see the rest of the stream, you're gonna you're gonna have to watch the VOD. Although if you are actually hearing this right now, you know that already because, you know, that's the only way you're hearing any of this. Ugh. All right. I guess I'll play a little longer. I mean, there's some stuff I wanted to do once I was done with the stream, but I can't do any of that stuff without internet, so it doesn't really matter anyways. You know, I'm probably just gonna go to bed after this since I can't fucking do anything online. Alright, well. Should probably just click stop streaming. Alright. Well, that's done. The rest of this is just an offline recording that will only be viewable on YouTube when I ever get around to uploading it. Probably sometime tomorrow. I don't usually take that long with it. God, I guess, I mean, I can look at the VOD later, I guess, when my internet's back. But right now, I just want to know, oh, man, how long was it out? How long was I talking without knowing that no one was able to see my stream? The weird thing is, it didn't say there were any dropped frames. Usually, I think usually it does that when there's, like, a network problem, the drop frames will rack up, but it said 0 drop frames while showing, like, no internet connection. And it went on my phone, and the Wi-Fi wasn't working on there either, so it's not just, like, a problem with, like, a device or a software or something, it's just the entire internet at my house right now is screwed. Last time this happened, it came back for a bit, but then it went out again, too, so I just got... I got really... the first time it came back, it gave me false hope. I was like, oh, I'm, glad the internet's back, I guess I can get back to what I was doing, but then it went out again, and at that point, I was like, alright, well, I'm not fucking waiting for this again, I'm just gonna go to sleep if it's gonna keep doing this. I mean, there's some stuff I can do. I can play games offline, I can record offline, and then upload later. But, I prefer... I prefer to stream this. Obviously, I prefer to stream this because I was streaming it. I was live on Twitch until my freaking internet cut off. And I'll do this. Maybe someone outside, like, sent some beams to my house and sabotaged my internet for me saying too many swears. Like, they walked outside my window and they're like, oh, that's too many F words. I'm gonna shoot a laser through your walls into your internet and you're gonna lose your internet, I guess. Oh, fuck you. I'm still doing this. I'm still recording. Oh, God. That spooked me a little bit. I mean, I knew what level this was, but for some reason, like, I was still surprised when, like, he actually showed up there. I was like, oh, yeah, like, this is harder than the Mario one. There are differences. I mean, it'd have to be different because, it's Cosmic Luigi instead of Cosmic Mario, and Luigi has different physics, but they didn't just, like, update the physics. Like, they made the, character here, the Cosmic character, have a better performance than the Mario version did, so this is one of those few stars that is actually... There's actually, like, a significant difference, that's opposed to the Mario version. It is actually designed to be harder. Which is nice, I just wish there were more stars like that. In Luigi Galaxy. I mean, it sucks that the internet's out, but at least I have power. Because most of the time where I live, if the internet's out, that's because the whole power's out, which is a lot more annoying. I mean, if the power actually did go out during the summer, which is pretty unlikely, but if it did actually happen, I mean, I'm recording in OBS with the file format where, if it gets cut off or stopped or whatever, it won't corrupt. Like, the MKV files, if you lose power, everything you recorded up to that point will be fine, whereas if you recorded, like, an MP4 or something, I think, like, randomly shutting it off without properly ending the recording might, like, corrupt it. Fuck you. So yeah, I'm glad I at least still have power so I can still do this offline. I just would prefer to keep streaming it. Oh, that didn't do anything? Nah, fuck that. Whatever those guys have, it's not worth it.
They're wasting my time. My precious time.
When's Luigi gonna make the Octua sound again? I keep forgetting what made him make that. It's not that. I'm losing it. Oh, this was the wait. I wasn't even paying attention. I, like, accidentally got the star I needed for the hidden star. I was thinking maybe this was on the first stage. No, it's on the third one. Okay, so I can get this right now. I didn't realize I'd got all the coins that unlock the invincibility star. Yep. Yep. I'm just gonna check my phone periodically just to see if I'm getting a connection on there or not. No, still nothing. That kind of sucks. I wanted to watch a little YouTube after the stream before I went to bed, but I can't do that without internet. Actually, well, I probably still have a cell signal, so I guess I could use my phone's data. You know, if I connected that to my computer, I guess that would work. I'm not sure how good that would be, but you know, it would probably be fine for watching YouTube. You know, it's nothing like intense going on there. Where's the app for my? Man, I'm gonna have to cancel all this stuff soon since I'm moving countries. Like, you know, new phone number, new and stuff like that. Oh, right, of course, the app's not going on Wi-Fi. Let's see if cell service works. Yeah, cell service is working. So it's not like something messing up like the whole area, however that would even work. It's just my Wi-Fi. It sucks right now. My plan. Yeah, I have unlimited. Okay, I can watch YouTube on there, that's fine. Not really related to my Mario Galaxy stream, but you know, not like anyone is gonna watch at this point anyways, you know. If anyone was gonna watch, you know, this late into the recording, it would have been live, but I'm not live now, so no one's gonna fucking see this anyways. Unless I get, like, famous later, you know, people will come back to this, you know. I'm not exactly holding my breath on becoming Twitch famous, you know. There's so many people doing that like, yeah, there's a little bit of skill. Well, there is skill, but there's so many people doing that there has to be an element of luck, you know. I mean, yeah, a lot of people could be doing things better to up their chances of being successful, but I also think there's some people that are doing everything right and just it's not working out for them. Or I guess, you know, what you would think of being as everything right is subjective, of course, but I mean, I think there are good entertainers out there that are good at what they do, and they just haven't got the attention yet. I mean, I guess, you know, like marketing and, you know, making connections and stuff, networking and stuff, those are skills, but there are some people that get famous, like, quickly enough that, like, there definitely is some element of luck. Like, I don't think you can get famous within a year of starting Twitch streaming without being lucky, you know. Like, you know, I mean, if you know, like, hone your skills for a long time, then, like, yeah, you know, you can probably kind of lock in some success, you know, just by doing it long enough, by doing the right things long enough. But if you You know, if you get success, if you're like super successful on Twitch after like just a year or a few months or something, then yeah, I mean, even if some skill is involved, there definitely is an element of luck of people even being able to find you that fast. I mean, technically, there's not really a point in having, like, you know, filters on my microphone and stuff at this point, you know, since I am recording this portion of the, you know, segment offline, that I guess I could technically just edit it all later, since no one is seeing it live, you know. I mean, I have noise suppression, you know, when I live stream, because, you know, I can't... You know, because people are seeing it live, you know, so you want it to sound as good as possible live. But, you know, if you're not live streaming, you know, you just record the raw audio and then, you know, apply the filters and stuff later instead of having the filters on live. Because usually it sounds better when you apply stuff, you know, after the fact. You know what? Actually, I'm good. What the fuck? Just frozen for a second. I'm close enough to the end that the next time I live stream this, though usually for a game like this, you know, once you beat it, you would probably end the stream there, and you know, if you want to do post-game content, you would do that another time, but there's still a few stars left, and once I beat it, I'm gonna have to keep playing after I beat it, or else it's going to be like a 40-minute stream for Count Mario Galaxy. You know, if I'm playing something on Twitch, or playing it live wherever, I wanna spend a little more time with it than just like 30 minutes or whatever. And I want to find a way to get a couple hours of it out of it if I'm doing it live. Wait, was there a penguin at the top that was frozen or something? I just... No, maybe not. I thought I saw something when I was like kind of talking and not paying attention, but maybe I didn't. Fucking Christ. I like how my capture card just like randomly drops like frames sometimes. It's really cool. It does that. I don't know why it does that. It just does. I mean, the pass-through for when I'm playing it looks fine to me, you know, like, it's a pretty much perfect pass-through, you know, it just, you know, like, the HDMI connection's fine, but once it gets, like, my computer, you know, the video gets kind of choppy sometimes, and I don't know why it does that. I have it connected to, like, a high-speed port, you know, like, I have it set up the best I can, it's just not a great capture card. I think it's, like, a relatively cheap one. My dad gave it to me, it's not an Elgato or anything, it's like, you know, something cheaper than that. Because my actual Elgato is really old at this point and has compatibility issues with OBS. So I'm not using that. I'm using like a kind of cheap new one. I mean, it's fine, you know. It's like it gets the job done, but sometimes it just drops some frames and that, you know. That can be annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It's not like, oh fuck. Yeah, I mean the like, you know, the consistent frame rate on my capture card, it's minor enough. I'm not like, oh, I have to get a new capture card, or you know, I'm not that mad about it. It's just mildly annoying. Wait, hold on. Am I connecting to the internet? Maybe? Let me go back on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. Okay, my internet's back. I mean, it's probably gonna, I mean, if it's anything like last time it's happened, it's gonna go out again, but, you know what? I'm just gonna go live right now. I'm gonna start the stream again. It's kind of stupid, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah, okay, it's working. I mean, there's no way anyone's watching this right now. There's no way anyone got here this fast, so I guess it doesn't really matter to say as much. But never mind, fucking cut out again. All right, that's what I get. All right, yeah, no more streaming tonight. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna. All right, I thought maybe I could do the rest of the stream on Twitch again, like live on Twitch, but nope, the internet just went out as fast as it came back. So let's fuck that. I'm just gonna play a few more stars as part of this offline recording, and yeah, that's just gonna be it. Man, there are so many good reasons to record your video while you're streaming. Like seriously, if you're live streaming, please, unless your computer like really can't handle doing both at once, just please do not rely on just the stream going live to Twitch. There are so many things that can go wrong with that. Just record your footage, record everything you stream. So, you know, if something like this happens where your internet gets fucked up, you know, that footage isn't lost forever, you know, your computer can still work even if the internet doesn't. And it's also, you know, good for the purpose of, recording tracks separately, so, you know, if something is bad in one of your audio tracks, but the rest of the audio is fine, you know, you can fix that. Like, if you know, if you run like copyrighted music or something, that gets you in trouble, but you wanna... Like, yeah, sometimes, you know, there'll be some music that has, like, copyright trouble. And you'll want to mute that music without muting your voice, so having those separate audio tracks is really helpful for stuff like that. And also sometimes, you know, if you're making, like, a YouTube video later that you're, like, editing and stuff and spending a lot of time with, if all of your audio tracks are stuck in one file and you can't separate them, you might find that the balance between, like, your voice and your game volume is just really off. Like, maybe your game is too quiet or your game is too loud and you can't hear your voice. So if you record offline and, you know, take advantage of the multiple tracks, you know, you can fix anything like that. So there's just a lot of reasons not to solely rely on what you're streaming to Twitch and then downloading from that later. It helps to record on your own computer. I know it's a bad Luigi. I'm not really trying that hard. I don't feel like trying hard right now. I'm just lazy like that. I'm a bum. Oh my god, my shake put him out, but then the fire set him back. Your best bet here is kind of just spamming the fireball, honestly. Usually that works. Kind of bad luck that day and that time. Oh, Starbait puts those guys out. I don't think I've ever done that before. Oh, let me get another fire flower. I'm good. But yeah, I'm gonna need that. I don't think those guys respawn, so, you know, if you get them out of the way, you know, you don't have to deal with them again. Oh, shit. Sorry, I thought that was gonna come out sooner than it did. There we go. God, the Wi-Fi is so annoying. No, honestly, I'll take this over my room being hot. You know, now that my room's cool, I'm just kind of happy that I'm not sweating to death and anything else is secondary. My computer keeps trying to connect to the Twitch chat and just keeps, like... There's just, like, 3 messages there. They all say, like, welcome to Soul Circuit's chat room. Like, every once in a while, it connects and displays that message, but then it disconnects again because my Wi-Fi is fucking shite right now. Daredevil? Yeah, sure, why not? But I mean, I feel like the summer heat has annoyed me so much. I would rather my stream not be working at all than have to deal with the heat any longer. Because again, I can still play games offline, you know, with the internet not working. I mean, if there are a bunch of people watching, then, like, maybe I would, you know, hold off and just, you know, wait till I'm able to go live again, but no one was here, so it's like, you know, there's no harm in just continuing to record and just, you know, live stream what I can when I can later on. I'm the Pingus Monster. Evil, Pingus Monster. Level 10 Pingus. This guy's kind of gay. Like, oh, mommy, Luigi's beating my ass. Mommy, come pick me up. Mommy. Mommy. Ow, I turned to dust. Mommy. Where'd I go? Oh. I'm gonna do another one on Dusty Dune. Been neglecting this one a little more than the others. More staying tuned at the end. I feel like I'm kind of losing my mind at this point. Like, I'm not making any sense anymore. I don't have good bits. I never have good bits, you know. I just start making sounds and stuff when I don't know what to do. Just stupid sounds, stupid words for stupid ears on stupid people. You know, someone that in the past that might have been smart said that a fool admires complexity, but a genius admires simplicity. My streams, they're the simple genius. that the genius admires, instead of the complexity that the idiot likes. Alright, there's a Hungry Luma there, but I wasn't focusing on Starbit, so I'm just gonna do that later. Probably on another stream at this point. Yeah, that was locked to his something. That was it. I think that was it. I think I just heard it. I wasn't paying attention, but I heard it again, like out of nowhere. It was like it was like the launch star Luigi sound when he goes into the launch star. This might be slower than just... No. Sometimes you reach a point where doing this is slower than just going around again, but I'm not at that point yet. I'm still saving time. And where's the last one? Where's the last one? Oh, there it is. Okay. I would have been really mad if I did all that spinning and stuff just to try to avoid going around one more time, and then I still had to anyways because I missed something obvious. Oh, I still have to go through for the blue star things. I forget what these are called. They have a name. It's Mario. Everything has a name. I just saw, you know, like something earlier where it's like, you know, thinking about that, like, you know, like in I think in most popular games, you know, pretty much everything has some kind of name, you know. If you have like a random alien enemy or something, you know, you don't just call it alien, you call it something else. If you just call it alien, it ends up looking boring, you know. You have to be a little more creative than that, even if it's like a really, like, mundane, unimportant thing, you know. Pretty much everything has some kind of name. I mean, that's probably one of, like, the easiest parts of making a game, you know. I think pretty much everything else about making a game is harder than naming things. But still, you know, everything is a choice that someone somewhere has to make, and it's kind of interesting to think of things that way, you know. It's very rare that something, you know, in the games is completely arbitrary and that there wasn't, you know, something that went into it. Remember there's another time I was streaming Mario Galaxy where my internet went to shit too. Actually, I don't even think it's the internet, just for some reason randomly, one time when I was streaming Mario Galaxy, there just started to be a ton of dropped frames. Like just most of what I was, you know, streaming, it wasn't making it to Twitch for whatever reason. But what's happening right now is completely different. What's happening right now is just the internet is not working at all. Like nothing is coming through. Whereas what happened that other time, it wasn't that the internet was completely not working. It was just a like poor connection. But a poor connection is better than no connection, like right now that I've been having. I mean, it's been like on and off. Actually, no, I can tell. I don't have to look at it. I can see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so like on my stream chat, on my chat tab on OBS, you know, it was like for a while I was saying like connecting to chat and not getting anywhere, but once it finally connected, you know, a new message popped up that said welcome to Soul Circuit's chat room. I guess whenever that happens, the internet comes back. But it's done that 4 times since my internet went out that it's like reconnected. So I mean that alone just means that like yeah, the internet has gone off and on at least 4 times, which means, you know, when it comes back on, I can't trust that it's gonna stay on because it's already gone back off like 3 other times. Well, I didn't get 19 stars in an hour, but I got 12, so it's not bad. I was wondering, like, oh, maybe I might, like, beat the game earlier than I thought I was going to. But no, I don't think I will. I'm not, well, I'm definitely not, now I'm at the 4-hour mark, I'm definitely not going to beat it tonight. I'm just going to do, like, maybe 1 or 2 more stars. No, yeah, I think there's 2 more stars in the bedroom, excluding comments. So I think I'll just do those two, and then I will end this recording. I was gonna say end the stream, but the stream was forcibly ended a while ago, so it's just a recording at this point. God, my throat hurts. Oh my god, I cannot wait to chill the fuck out. I mean, streaming is like one of the more chill things you can do, you know, as opposed to like doing something physical or something, but no, I can't. I mean, all my family's asleep and stuff, so when the stream is over, I'm just gonna not talk for a while because I won't need to, and I won't want to because my throat hurts. Again, it doesn't hurt in the way that, like, you know, it's like sore or like sick or something. It's like a different kind of like deeper pain. Like something's been like overextended or something, you know. Although it is starting to feel kind of sore and scratchy too. I guess both pains are happening now. Since I've, you know, I'm continuing to stream and talk like long after it started to hurt. And I don't do anything weird that would make my throat hurt either, so it is just that I'm talking more than I usually do. I think that's all it is. I'm just using my voice more than I do on most days. Fuck. Oh, I was thinking like, oh, next stream I'm only gonna have like 5 stars to do before I go to Bowser. It's gonna be kind of awkward, but I realized I don't have to go to Bowser once I get star number 60. I can just get more stars and then go face him when I feel like it. So, although doing that gives you a little less freedom, because once you beat Bowser, the purple comes and locks. You get some more choices and stuff. But it's whatever. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for that yet. It's not a big deal either way, you know. If I go to stream Mario Galaxy again and I do the final fight after like 30 minutes, then I'll just go back to the game and play it a little longer anyways. Every time I play this level recently, I've never done it like the intended way. Like I always do some like really weird fucking stupid ass jumps. Oh, I'm not gonna get out. I don't think I'm good. You get there in time like this, yeah. I don't. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Not even try. Fuck that. Maybe if I'm just smoother with my wall jumps, I can pull off this really stupid trick. Come on. Okay, that was a lot faster. I might actually be able to do this. Just don't run into any walls, and we're good. Maybe. God, the camera! Come on! Alright. Annoying camera. Also not to hit the water. Oh my god, that was close. That was close. This could be really close. Whoa! I had like a second left on that. Again, I did that like the hard way, kind of. I think I did the comment for this before I did the actual normal version of this part of the galaxy. I think that feels like it happens a lot in this game. They introduces you to like the challenging comment version before you even play the original version. I don't even really know how the comment system works in this game. I think people have figured it out, but I think it's something kind of complicated that you can't like quickly explain. You know, like what comments unlock when. I think it's a kind of lengthy explanation that I'd have to look into some other time. You know, I can't just like Google it and like figure it out in 30 seconds, you know, while I'm on stream. Actually, I think the comment version of this, it wasn't lava and ice, it was just ice. You were just ice skating. There wasn't any like ground you had to cover with the flour or anything. Alright, one more star. I'm just doing the last star on Dusty Dune. Just to wrap up the bedroom for now. And then that'll be it for me. Excuse me? Sorry. Yeah, after this stream, I'm gonna try connecting my computer to my... Wait, what? Wait, hold on, look at this, look at this. Luigi has shorter jumps here. Like, his physics aren't adjusting, or... No, some of these jumps are shorter, right? Or maybe they aren't. No, yeah, some of these jumps feel shorter. Like, his physics weren't adjusting to the fact the platform is rising. I've noticed this game has some inconsistencies between Mario and Luigi that don't feel intentional. Like the fact that when you're if you have Mario, if you spin underwater, you don't lose any air. If you spin underwater with Luigi, you do lose air. There's stuff like that in this game that I don't feel like those differences were intentional. Like, I don't know why they would intend for that. It feels like it has to be a bug. Or unless they were just trying to make things a little harder with Luigi. But again, every time there's a few parts of Super Luigi Galaxy that are harder than Mario Galaxy, but those moments are so few and far between that some of it, like you know, the water thing, it feels unintentional because it happens so rarely that they actually try to make any difference between, you know, these two characters' different missions. Oh, I made that, but I didn't land on it. Whatever. Actually, man, I'm not done with the bedroom after this. There's gotta be comments eventually, and there's a hidden star on this level that I haven't done yet. But I'm not gonna do that tonight. There's a stream / now offline recording has gone on long enough. Goofy internet for sure. No, now that I'm recording offline at the moment, I'm not streaming. I can't make up a chatter, you know. I'm not that I do that anyways, but no, I can't like pretend someone in chat asked me something and then like pretend I'm answering a real person because, you know, I'm offline, so there's not gonna be any chatters. How was my day? Oh, my day was good. How about yours? Like that, you know, like I can't pretend anyone is talking to me right now because I'm not even live. Goofy coconut. So many goofy things tonight. Uh-huh. This music is freaking epic.
Blah.
Eat Pingus. Uh-huh.
Yak noa. Yak noa.
Shit, not a good start. Not a good start. No, like if this was like a hard mode or something like this, like they could just make this go a little faster than it does for Mario. I mean, I don't think it's going faster right now, but just, you know, there's enough stuff like that in these levels where they could just make this, like, subtle changes to, you know, turn this into like a hard mode. Instead of just Mario Galaxy again. Oh, you fucking... You penis. Alright. Alright, I'll start tonight. I'm done. I'm done. Ugh. Well, kind of frustrating turn of events tonight. Towards the end there. I mean, I hope this isn't a common thing. I mean, if this is a regular occurrence at night, then I just can't stream at night. Like, there's no point of streaming if you don't have internet. You can't stream without internet, so if the internet's, like, going in and out constantly, then this just isn't something that I can do. This has only happened, like, late at night for me, so I don't know why it's only happening late at night. It seems a little fishy to me. That's only happening during the time where most people are asleep. I'm not sure what's going on. The I mean, yeah, if this keeps happening, I'm just gonna have to figure out how to do this earlier in the day because I can't stream without internet. You know, just a very basic fundamental thing you're missing there. Let's see. Oh yeah, I still have just like Shiver like being like weirdly close and intimate for the image. You know what? Let's just change it. Let's change it back to the normal image since I don't know what I'm gonna stream next. It might not be Splatoon Raiders. It might be something else. Although I can see myself streaming Splatoon Raiders soon, if anything. There's the normal default image. Didn't need to change that right now, but who fucking cares? I'm going. Well, I don't know if I'm going to bed right now, but I'm ending the stream or recording. Good night.